Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got 3 replays, yes 3, in the Polish tier 7 medium tank, the CS-44. Now this is a tank that you have the choice of 2 guns. You can use the 90mm, which is a pretty decent gun. It's got decent gun depression, it's got decent accuracy, it's got decent DPM. It's an all-round decent gun. And then you've got the 100mm, which is not the most accurate. It's got a long reload, but it hits for 300 alpha. And also the pen on the premium is better, and slightly better on the standard, but not by much. But, yeah, the 100mm is the gun that I use on this tank. Now, what's the CS-44 like? Well, quite frankly, the CS-44, it's not a good tank, but I've found it enjoyable myself. It just, the way it is, it kind of catered to me a little bit. I enjoyed the higher alpha, and I enjoyed having that higher alpha at the tier, because 300 alpha on a medium tank at tier 7 was nice. Now obviously with the 100mm gun on the CS-44, you only have 6 degrees, sorry, of gun depression, compared to the 90mm, which you actually have 8, which is pretty decent. Now what I found actually with this CS-44 is it's one of those tanks that just has 0 armor, but randomly bounces things, and you sit there going, I don't know how I bounced that. I just did. Okay, I don't know. And yeah, for the most part, you generally do bounce things, but you shouldn't rely on it. You shouldn't expect it. But like that would just bounce the Jagdpanther. But yeah, I like the alpha myself. It's just one of the driving factors in why I like this tank. So, in this first game, we are on Pilsen, and you're seeing some fantastic driving as we drive into inanimate objects, because it's what we do around here. Yeah. And what I want to do is break the camp, basically. I say break the camp. I want to break the enemy team's attacking positioning, and that's because I could push the way that Randy did, up to the building, and then try and push across. But what I actually wanted to do was push into a position like this and have nice shots at the enemy team as they tried to progress up and attack my team here. So you see we've got some decent shots into this T-29, and then this Tiger 1 is now coming in. It's like, right, okay, I'm going to try and hug this building, try and get some sort of angle in. Unfortunately, he pens me. I used the repair kit to fix my gun, but we did track this Tiger, which means we're getting some nice assistance. He's staying here. We put another shot in. I was hoping to make him a one-shot so we'd get rid of him. Now we've got this T-29. T-29 pens us, but I know now that I'm going to get the reload in. We're aiming for the lower plate, and we shot him down. And now there's only 5 tanks left, and we know where they are. They're in front of us, so we're going to wait for this reload to go in. We're going to go and attack this P-43 Tur. Hopefully we roll high enough to kill him. Well, I say hopefully you never roll high enough to kill people these days. Unfortunately, we didn't kill him, but now we're going to go in after the light tanks. We see this HMH 1357. And it's like, hello friend. I'm not sure he expected me to do that, to be honest. Smash him into place, waiting for the raid. Hopefully we'll get the time to kill this awful Panther. And we do. We finish off the awful Panther, and we cap off a very nice game on Pilsen for this tank. And it's a map that's not really the best for it either. So we finished that game with 4 kills, 4.2k damage, 1800 base XP, 516 assistance. Brothers in Arms, High Caliber, Sniper Medal. I think I just got the 2nd mark as well in this game. I think that was the 2nd mark game. And generally a very nice game for the tank. So now we're on to the 2nd replay. And both these next 2 replays are on proc. And one's this side and one is the other spawn. And then we're with Randy again. Because what Randy was doing at the time was because he basically was 3-marking his way up the line. And, you know, he was saying, you know, I'm going to 3-mark the CS-44. I'm just going to keep playing it. And I was like, you know what? I'm up for that. I fancied playing, you know, at this point, the Polish mediums are still brand new. And I was like, you know, I fancy playing some more of the Polish mediums. And I kind of enjoyed this tank, weirdly. For saying it's not the best tank, I kind of enjoyed it. So it was like, you know, I'll play it along with you. And I ended up 3-marking it alongside him. Just because it was enjoyable to play. So I just kept playing with him and playing with this tank. So we're in proc, and we took the aggressive position. There's no artillery, right? Which means that we're not going to get absolutely pooped on for taking this position. So I just immediately went into the bolt to see if we could get some spotting out. We got a couple of nice shots into the Tiger. We're now going to try and get a shot into this T29, and we do get a nice shot into there. Now, we've got to be careful with this T29, obviously, because if he takes up an aggressive position against us, he could quite easily pop over the ridge lines and keep putting shots into us without taking any damage himself, because obviously he's a really good turret. The issue with having the 100mm compared to Randy with his 90mm here is obviously we only have 6 degrees of gun depression. Now, if we had Randy's 8, we might be able to do a little bit more. It might be less awkward, because now with 6 degrees of gun depression with the 100mm, we are fairly awkward position, because we really have to overexpose ourselves on the ridge lines to be able to get shots into these guys. Now, I am worried about this T29, like I say, because he can pop over this ridge line and shoot us. He is hull down, and he will hurt us. Now, we're firing the 160 odd pen AP into the side of his turret, which unfortunately bounces. We really need his turret to be flat side to be able to pen it. So, or just load the prem and do it. We try and pop over a little bit more to get a shot into that guy. The WZ pops over, well, drives over like a light tank normally does, and gets a shot into us. We're loading the heat now, because I'm hoping with the heat in, I might be able to pop a shot into the roof of the T29's turret, because I'm not quite going to overmatch it with the AP, but the heat might go over it, just might go in. It's one of those things, heat with its normalization, well, no normalization and stuff like that, sometimes it does go in. Now we try and pop a free aim shot at the light tank. Unfortunately it misses. We do have heat in, so our shell velocity is pretty poo, and that means that it's just not going to hit. The other reason I've got the heat in is obviously if that T29 turned his turret sideways to us, we might bounce with the AP, whereas the heat would probably go in. We get a nice shot into the KV3. Unfortunately, we take another hit as we popped up, which is, you know, it's one of those things. For every hit you take, you're limiting yourself for what you can actually do in this game and what more risks you can take when you're popping up on the ridge lines and stuff like that. So for every hit, it's like, oh, taking another hit. This is not good. And so I'm just being a little bit more careful. We got a nice shot into that light tank. We really need the light tanks to die. This CS-44 pops over on the ridgeline to try and just get one shot into us and dies for it. And now we're going to see if we can get a shot at this Tiger P at the back. The aim there, my aim really shot to the right, and I'm very lucky I hit that Tiger P and penned it. But, hey, we'll take it. You take what you can, really. We pop the food out to try and get the best view range we can, and we're going to just keep popping up to see if we can spot anything else that's at the back. We also want to see if we can get some shots at this Tiger 1. We get a nice shot blind into him, but we get spotted by the WZ-131 as he was going back over onto the 1-2. We got to be careful because there might be that TD at the back yet. We don't know. We want to be careful because obviously that Tiger P is still hard aiming where we are, and it will hurt. But we can actually spot like the Tiger 1 and that's at the back, and he's just in a place where we can just keep popping shots. And obviously, I think this tank would be a lot less enjoyable for me if it was pre 6.0, where the gun would be just absolutely dreadful. But because of the crew skills and stuff you can get on it, like basically I ran all of the gun perks on this tank, and that meant that the gun was bearable pretty much. Because, I mean, you do have 0.41 accuracy, but when you've got all the crew skills and stuff on, you're getting it down to about 0.31, 0.3. Yeah, you're going to miss shots because the aim time's a bit long, but for the most part, you're still going to do... You know, you're still going to hit a fair few shots. Now, there was the armor I'm talking about. Say it's not the best armor in the universe, but for some reason, it does bounce the odd shot. And now we're unspotted because I think the Tiger P is just not popping over. We get free reign to pop on top of this ridgeline, aim our shots well, get the reloads in, and just start farming these guys who are very preoccupied. This Tiger 1 obviously is not really paying attention to us. We had the back of that Paladin, and we're just going to keep pummeling in the shots. Now this Paladin's pulled back out again, and I'm thinking, who do I shoot next? Do I kill the Tiger 1 or do I go for the Paladin? Well, the Tiger 1 I thought was going to die, so I aimed up at the Paladin, and in fact the Tiger 1 actually went behind that ridgeline, so I couldn't shoot him anymore. And now there's only one guy left. It's this CS-44 who is in the corner. We get a shot straight through his turret. If he's going to sit there, we're going to happily get a shot through there, and the game ends with a nice tally on Proc. And when there's no artillery, you can take the ball just that easily and do a good amount. So we finished the game with 4.2k damage, top of the leaderboards, 2.4k assist, ace tanker, Confederate, high caliber, steel wall, and 2.1k base XP, which is a really, really nice game for the tank. And like I say, it's just one of those tanks that, weirdly, I enjoy. It's not the best tank in the universe. It suffers a lot when you see tier 9, which is probably why most of these replays have been against tier... Well, when you've been top tier, and it's nice matchmaking. Plus, this, to be fair, a lot of these games are in +1, -1 as well, so... And when I played it, for the most part, it was +1, -1, so I didn't see tier 9s. But, yeah, it's literally just the alpha for me, to be honest, because I am an alpha whore. I like having tanks that have got a lot of alpha for the tier. So, like, say, like the Talon, for example. Again, it's not the best tank in the universe, but I like having that 390 alpha at tier 7, because having 390 on a medium tank at tier 7 is just juicy. So, we're on Proc again. And again, the matchmaker is actually even more kind this time. Last time it was tier 7, but there was a lot of tier 7s. This game, there's a lot of tier 5s. And we are, you know, in a very good matchmaking situation. Again, there's no artillery, so that means proc becomes really enjoyable. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take the bowl again, and we're going to put the hurt to the enemy team. The A-44 there, struggling with his gun depression, was trying to get shots at us. We managed to put a good couple of shots into him, because obviously the A-44 only has like 4 degrees, even not even that, it's 3 degrees of gun depression. This DS Pines, I don't know how you say it, tried to do a little spine run, got a shot into him. Now this other one is popping over. We're wiggling to hopefully bounce a shot if he wanted to put a shot in. We've got this T1 Heavy over here, which is just sitting there. Poor little tier 5 puppy, to be fair. And we get a nice shot into him. And we spot him up again as we poke up, waiting for the aim time to go in. Shut him down. And that's the first kill of the game. And we're going to move over a little bit. I'm thinking, where can I get more spots in? That DS gets a shot into us. We're now getting YOLO by this M4. Get a shot through him, and I'm like, please kill him. And he does get shut down. These DS Pizins right next to me are being a little bit annoying. They're doing their job, basically. They're trying to pop over and shoot me, keeping me distracted a little bit, and just being a little bit of a nuisance. They're getting shots into the team behind me that are trying to support me. We end up spotting a Wolverine at the back, and we also spot that guy. But this is where the gun depression is also being awkward again, with only 6 degrees, because I can't... If I had 8 degrees, I might be able to get some more shots into people like this VK and this Wolverine, but I can't quite do it with the 6 that I've got. I've got to really overextend. I don't have to overextend for that A-44, however, who is in a really nice position for me to shoot. But I am spotting the Wolverine, so I got all of his assistance. That A-44 has clearly got annoyed and driven up on top of the ridgeline. I shut him down there, and we're up to 2.8k damage already in the bowl, which is nice. And there's still quite a lot of health left. We end up bouncing the DS Bazins at the back. Unfortunately, we snap the shot and it misses. And I really want to boost how much assisted and damage I'm getting, so I'm thinking, you know what, I might just go here. We get a shot into the DS as we're coming over, because he's not expecting it. I'm thinking, you know what, I'm just going to ram this guy. Ram him, finish him off, and now there's just the IS-2M and the other tank at the back down on my right. And I know that I'm going to be spotting these guys as I come up. So we spot another one. But what I'm actually thinking is I could get up below these guys' guns, spot them up, but get shots at this Leo, which I do. I get a nice shot into the Leo's side. Because I was always thinking about him. If he decides to turn his attention, he'll be able to shoot me in the butt, which is obviously not what we want. And I knew that I could get a shot at him while he might be distracted. But now he's gone, I can actually pop up here and get some spots at these guys. We shut down the Stug, because that's getting a gun out the game. Waiting for the reload now. I'm thinking, should I go for the IS-2 or this DS? But this DS is giving me a nice shots into his rear. We try and track him in place. And it's all about that reload now. The reload, you do feel, it does feel slow at times. But we've still got a lot of health, so I know I can take a hit from this IS-2M. So I'm just playing it a little bit more risky in terms of sitting in front of him and possibly taking a shot. But wait for the reload to go in, we're aiming for the lower plate, get a shot straight in. And the likelihood of me now killing him is very unlikely as my team swarm in. And the IS-2M does get shut down, but it was another very, very nice game for the CS-44, which is in a tank that isn't that great, but like I said, it's one of those tanks, it's one of those things in it. You enjoy what you enjoy, and I just enjoyed this playthrough of this tank so much. Finished with 5 kills, 4.6k damage, 1800 assist, ace tanker, patrol duty, sniper, scout, high caliber, 2.3k base XP, 5 kills, and like I say, a very nice game for a tier 7 tank, and it is a very mediocre tier 7 tank at that. It's just one that I don't know, it's just one of those things, isn't it? So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!